All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol FCEL, Fuelcell Energy Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we jump into this chart, all I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watched this video, share it with a friend or someone in your community, and stay tuned till the end because we have a ticker symbol to talk about that you definitely want to have on your watch list. Analyst ratings are pointing upwards for this one with the upside potential, and a lot of different articles are stating that it could be the stock of the decade. So you definitely don't want to miss out on this stock if it is going to be the stock of the decade and it's going to revolutionize within its sector. So stay tuned for that towards the end of this video. So here we are. Fuelcell Energy Inc. We've talked about it several times. I wasn't able to keep on fitting it into my daily videos because I'm one person versus many different ticker symbols, but we talked about it several times. We did chart analysis on it all throughout January, December, even back in November leading up to December, all the way to even talking about it again towards the beginning of February. Now, I wanted every single investor and viewer to be aware that when I saw this pull back, right, and you can see these circles here, this is when we saw Fuelcell hit its peak of almost $20 and some change, and then there was basically analysis ratings pointing down to $11 within the next 6 months to a year from now. And I always told every single investor, keep in mind how this has been reacting. If it's a slight pullback, is it going to be temporary? And then we talked about it. It pulled itself up since, pulled right back down. I reiterated on it, touched base on it. We already saw that support be used with strength, and it bounced off of that again. Now, the fact that it kept on running and we reiterated on it back here at $23 and some change, and it ran up all the way to 29. I mean, this stock just doubled in a few weeks and almost a month. So the fact that it started to pull back down, it could have been a big warning sign for many investors, all depending on what their risk tolerance is and how they feel about the company. But one thing I can tell you is no one saw the stock market coming back in this direction. We all talked about it. We all thought about it. And then I did a video talking about the stock market overall. And we were seeing signs, but nobody knew if it really was that time or if it was going to pull back this much. But Fuelcell did take a hit. And interesting enough, when you look at the price targets of these analysis ratings, there was more than one stating that it was going to reach $11. So before it wasn't $9, it was $11. Now they went even lower since it's actually touched $11, which is kind of ironic and funny to me. And no one is saying a buy, many are saying hold, and no one is really saying sell except for one person. And that one person is actually reiterating it and bringing it even more to a downgrade of $9. We're currently sitting at $18. The average is 11 and the high is 15. Now, how does that make me feel? Well, sometimes analysis ratings are correct and sometimes they're just trying to pull down the stock like we talked about back here when the market was all right. We didn't go through this turbulent downward direction or correction as we went through, and a lot of the analysis ratings were pulling this one down, and it bounced right off that $15 mark twice all the way back up to $30. So sometimes analysis ratings could be very informational to be prepared and aware, but don't always want to guide yourself through that because it can stop you from the opportunities that are ahead. Now, the fact that it pulled back big, I understand. It hurts. I don't know how many of you are actually holding. Did any of you guys see the warning signs and get out and plan on getting back in? Have you gotten back in since this jump? And do you plan on getting back in if you haven't, as this continues to either consolidate or pull back again? To watch this carefully, especially based off of those analysis ratings. But I just found it interesting that it did reach $11 and now they want to say it can go as low as $9. But this whole sector as a whole, I'm pretty bullish on it. I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of that. Not individually just Fuelcell. I'm talking about clean energy overall. This is game changing and this is innovative and this is going to change the way energy is produced and transformed and done. So Fuelcell has a lot of potential, and when you think about it, even though it had this correction, I mean, this came from like $2 and some change, and if you really think about it, back in March of last year from $1. So this stock is still holding itself up pretty well. the fact that anyone feels like it really got destroyed, it hasn't really. I mean, it's still up 18 times where it started last year in March, and it's up 10 times after this low here of $11. Could this continue upwards? I believe so, especially with legislation and everything going on in this sector. So let's look at our 50-day moving average and support levels and resistance levels. So the first thing I want us to pay close attention to here is the fact that the 50-day moving average is 1736, okay? You want to keep that in mind. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. Now, our support is actually in bearish territory down here, and that's 1681. You definitely want to watch that carefully to see if the bulls try to reappear between the 50-day moving average and support, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast. If that gets broken through, your next support is down here at 1527, and you definitely want to watch carefully and see where your position is in. What's your average cost? Are you going to average in more? Are you going to average down? You know, as an investor, you'll have to make those decisions and rational decisions based off your risk tolerance and where you're positioned. Not one single trader is in on a stock in the same position, and not one single trader sees a stock the same. So I would never tell anybody to buy, sell, or hold any positions, but I am here to enlighten you guys and position yourselves to be better equipped for the next trading day. So here we are. The resistance level is very important because that's the highest point we've reached in this bullish run, and that's 1859. If we zoom out, that's the highest we've seen since the bottom here of the 11s, and that right there is 1859. Definitely need to be turned into a support, and the bulls need to break away from it to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. So I do want to emphasize the bulls need to break through that to continue this momentum and not have the 50-day moving average catch up to it, giving leverage to the bears. Now, I know I stated the support down here, but the next support level you want to look at, if you want to zoom in a little bit more, is 1783. The stock is currently at 1811. If it breaks through 1783, we're still in bullish territory between support and the 50-day moving average, but at least it gives you some warning signs or something to look at to see how the stock is reacting, if the bulls can try to reappear and maintain momentum, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast. Now, if you guys see this pulling back even more tremendous beyond $15, then your next support would be way down here at $12 and almost 50 cents. So it is something to keep in mind. I mean, that's a big gap between one support and the next, but you want to watch it and be aware of it. As always, guys, if you learned something new, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the bell and turn on all notifications to not miss a single video that I post. Share it with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned till the end because I do have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss, and analysis ratings are stating it to be the stock of the decade. You definitely want to have it on your watch list. Welcome back, everyone, to another video here with Invest for Tomorrow, and all I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watched this video and you found this helpful and informative, and for you to share this with a friend or a family member so they are aware. And if you're a first-time viewer, just stay on tight and you find value in this, don't forget to leave without clicking the subscribe button. So here we are, Matterport.com. I highly recommend checking out the website, and there's so much cool information about this company that it's just immense, and it's just unbelievable how far into technology we're going. And you can see that it can capture any space into a 3D diagram. Now, all it takes for this to go to the next level, which I wouldn't be surprised coming soon, is actually putting on virtual goggles, right? Virtual reality goggles, and you can actually tour and walk inside there without even just looking at a screen. You'll actually feel that you're there without being there. So imagine that being a sales pitch from a realtor, and it saves so much time of driving to all these different places. You just go to a local central spot, you put on the goggles, and you're there. And the virtual reality is becoming a reality. That's just immense, crazy stuff to think. So GHVI, I've been talking about it as it was falling, and I actually caught it back at $17 when it was falling. This was the second time I reiterated it, and that was this weekend on March 6th. And I said the closer to 10, the more interesting. it had hit a low of 1132, but the market ran up. I mean, I talked about it here that I could see it possibly falling a little bit more unless the market runs wild with stimulus being passed, and we may have seen its bottom close to 1132 for now. We shall see. So since then, it's been running. It's sitting at 16.99, and I'm here to tell you guys why this is one you don't want to pass up on, and the potential is immense. I could see this 50x at the most and the lowest 20x, okay? And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So this is the first article how everyone found out about it, and it's called "This SPAC Could Be the Best Stock of the Decade." I'm not going to go into much detail about it. It just shows us a little bit about the company and what type of sector it's in, how it's an untouched sector, and it shows us the 3D modeling. Definitely look this up to read more about it, and definitely check out the website. And now this is where I'm definitely going to summarize everything and talk about what it says that has a little bit more information, quicker and to the point than just reading that whole article and going through the whole website. So I really like this one. It says 3 unstoppable growth stocks to buy right now. That was a pretty bullish statement back in February 26, but prices are a lot better right now than February 26, or kind of close to them. So this is why this is a stock you don't want to pass up on. So the first question is really interesting. Would you like to invest in a company in a massive, underpenetrated market with a clear leader and relatively low valuation? Put those 3 things together, and you have the kind of stock that should almost certainly deliver tremendous gains. I think GHVI checks off these boxes. That's a bold statement, and we're going to have to see after the merger if institutional ownership goes up tremendously, and that'll be a big sign. But very bold to say that, and that's the type of questions you would ask yourself, or any investor would ask themselves, and hopefully come across in Amazon when it was under $100, come across Apple when it was under $10, $20, come across Google when it was just a few cents. You know, those are the questions, and that's how you find these tremendous gainers. Like, this is said to be the stock of the decade. Now, it says here what they're about and how they create 3D models with any physical space, and the total addressable market for this data technology is $240 billion, okay? The company space under management is 100 times larger than in the entire rest of the market, okay? Its SPAC is public offering is expected to value the company at around 2.3 billion, okay? So when you look at this, this is 100 times, right? 100x. Now, I don't think they're going to get all of the addressable market, but if the market even grows and expands, then this could possibly 100x or get pretty close to that. But the reason why I say this could possibly 50x is because they're the largest ones in this sector, and it's untouched by very few and underpenetrated. And if they go ahead and take up the market share as fast as they can, I could see them taking probably 50% of this. And if you go ahead and do that, you know, that's 50x of where the stock's valuation is right now, which could also be almost $100 billion at some point. So 50x is big moves, okay? That's still 5,000% up over time. So Matterport projects its revenue will increase by compound annual growth rate of 59%. Okay, where do you find those returns? Not every day. So when I look at that, I mean, that's explosive growth, 59%, and it's going to be soaring close to 750 million by 2025. And basically they go to say they don't see anyone coming in the horizon to beat or try to compete anywhere near the company's potential. Once the merger with Matterport is finalized, this will be practically unstoppable. I mean, I know this could sound like very bullish or a lot of hype, but this company's potential and the way it's innovating and changing the game, I could see this 50x and 5,000% go up over time. And it could possibly even grow bigger than that because of the fact that this is right now 240 billion of a market space, and it could grow even more. And the more that grows and the more the company grows over time, the more it's going to feed off of that market space and market cap it's going to receive. So big space here, big opportunity. And like I said, it would be very surprising to see this go to the next step where a realtor could say, hey, do you want to go there right now? And they're like, well, how far is it? It's 2 hours away. Do you want to go there right now without even having to drive? Just put these on. And all of a sudden, it's a sales pitch. People are going to be excited. It's just going to change the realtor world and the whole entire real estate perspective. And not only that, but the way we could do things architecturally, and also just so much could be expanded off of this. It's going to be wild. I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm excited about it. Big potential here. I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts down below. Comment down below what you think about this space and what you think about where this is going, and especially if you're a realtor or you own your own brokerage, how you feel about this company. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.